Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start with one more topic, that is glut. Last class we have seen how we are going to utilize all the header files and all. So today we are going to see what is the exact meaning of glut and how we are going to utilize it. So as I have told you already, the full form of your glut is GL in the sense Open Graphics Library. UT means Utility Toolkit. Okay, so this is a window manager. You have to remember this whenever any Viva question will come. You have to answer that Glut is a window manager. So what it will do, how we are going to use this. So it will be very useful to create any kind of your windows. So how we are going to give this windowing system? Windowing system we have to give. In last class I have shown you that we have to take some x-axis and y-axis and we are going to give the coordinate points. So if I will give 500 comma 500, or I can give 700 700, anything. So whatever the coordinate points you are giving, accordingly your image or your like whatever the object you are drawing, that will be in place with your coordinate system. So this glut will helpful to create all the varieties of windows, all the variety coordinate points. Utilizing that, it will create the windows for you. And also the second point says that it is a platform independent. So any of the platform you can run the glut programs. It can be your Windows, it can be Linux, Unix, Ubuntu, anything. So that is a very good option for your glut, that it is a platform independent. Then it will make you to, like how it is going to run all the programs. So it will make you to run all the customizable programs inside your glut, because it supports your window manager and you can customize all your programs whenever you want. So it doesn't mean that you are going to it is going for any kind of your commercial products, but whatever the customization you want to do, you can do it by using this glut header file. Then now we are going to check it out how we can do, what will be the structure of your glut. Okay, so here this is the application structure. There are some functions I have mentioned over here. There are many more primitives are available where which we are going to see all the primitives while doing the programs. So here this application structure contains your configuration part and how you are going to open the windows windowing system. Okay, so these two things it is going to have. And whenever we will start the glut programs, first thing it will just initialize your OpenGL state. It will make the OpenGL state as an active state. Okay, once the OpenGL state will be active, it will start registering all the input values whatever you have given inside your program. Input values in the sense, suppose if you have drawn one like one you can say something, some object you have drawn. Let's take it as a circle. Okay, so now you have placed your circle in the center of your window. So now if you want to give some functions, that is known as your callback functions. By using these callback functions, you can give some of the functionalities by using the keyboard and mouse. So if you want to move that circle left to right, then you have to give the keyboard functionality, that you want to move the state from left to right. Also you can give the mouse button functionality. Suppose if I will press the left button, like a click left button, then it has to move from left to right. So that kind of input functions you can give while registering yeah, while writing the programs. That is known as your callback functions. By some callback functions will be there. By using that you can render your object. It means you can move your object from one place to another place. You can resize your object, you can make it as a small, you can make it as a big. So this kind of, these are only very little example I have mentioned over here, but there are many more callback functions are available. By using that you can give your input. Your one input is like If suppose you have made one fan and you want to make the speed high, you want to make the speed low, so to adjust that speed, the rotation values, and on what angle it is going to rotate, everything you can give by using these callback functions. Okay. Then the last one also your GLOT supports, that is your event processing loop. Event processing loop in the sense, if you want to continue, suppose I have given you the example as fan, suppose you want to continue the process, okay, it will move like a loop, then you have to give the event. Okay, so event in the sense, event state will be true. So if your event state is true for 5 rotations, then your fan will keep moving for 5 times, whatever the angle and whatever the coordinate points you have given, accordingly it is going to move. After that, if you have given that once it will reach to the 6th rotations, your event value will be false. That time automatically the fan will stop, okay, from rotating. That is the use of your event processing loop. You can utilize this event processing loop anywhere, wherever you want to utilize some kind of your rotations values, or any of the I have given you the example of rotations, but you can utilize in any way these event things whenever you want to fire something, or if you want to give some kind of your like forceful stoppage, that time also you can use this event. Okay, so this is the application structure of your GLOT. So now let's see what all are the approach to programming in GL, okay, in graphics library. So here what you are going to do, the first thing is we have to use the old code again. See here what happens is, we as you are a beginner to this graphics library, you are going to write the programs. But suppose if you are a software developer and you are going as a graphics program, if you are learning a graphics program, no need to recreate your code. You can use the old code, and you can use the function called gl get errors. Okay, so if you will use the function gl get error, you have to remember here one thing, this is case sensitive. So gl will be in small, get g will be capital, error e will be capital, there will be no space in between, and as it is a function, you have to start with the open and close bracket. Okay, so this kind of functions you can use to check any kind of your errors, whatever is there inside your program. So this is a primitive. So here you learn one primitive. I hope you people are writing in your booklet. Just write it down. GL get error will help you to find out the errors. So this is a primitive. Now there are many primitives, and some basic primitive is there which we are going to start today. So here some primitive names. Suppose if you are writing GL vertex. So if you are writing GL vertex, it will create the vertex points. Okay, so how it will create the vertex point? So if you are giving this gl vertex, give the coordinate system, and it will create the vertex points for you. Next is glue perspective. You can write glue perspective, you can write GL perspective also, because this GL, glue, and glot, all these things are header files. And these header files we are writing in our like a as a preprocessor directive whenever we will start the program. So here that doesn't mean that you can use only GL or glue, anything you can use, but it has to support your system. If suppose any error comes, like in this line some error is there, you can change it to glue. Okay, it depends on your library functions, and it depends on your system. So that is a common error. Suppose if you are if you have written here gl create window, and so maybe it can support in my system, my laptop, but maybe it won't support in your laptop. If it gives the error in that line, just go and change the header file. So it will be glut create window. And remember, many students used to get the errors while writing the primitives. Maybe it will be smalls, or you maybe have given some space. So don't use all these things. You have to remember how you are going to write. So glut will be small, create c will be capital, window w will be capital. So here you are going to write glut create window. So this is the like to create window, this is a primitive. Glue perspective in the sense, you, if you want to have some projections, or if you want to see on what base, no, on what way the projections has been established, that time you can use this perspective way or parallel way or any kind of your way to find out in where your image is present. Okay, so these things are just one example or some kind of your approach towards your programming in GL. In this way you are going to write it. Now let's see, there will be some different parts of your GL program. So now here different parts of a GL program. So here what we are doing, we have the main functions. Okay, the first thing, it will start with your main functions. If you are writing the return type, so you can use a void main functions. Then you are going to set up the GL and the glut stops. How you are going to set up? You have to write the header files. You know how to write hash include GL slash glut.h or glue.h. In that way you are going to set up your header files. Once you have set up your header files, next thing you have to create the events. Or if you want to create of, or if you want to give some input like functions, that is your callback functions, then you can use your keyboard or mouse event. Okay, so this kind of functions also you can utilize. Then you have to use your display, how you are going to see in your graphics routines. So there will be some different kind of your primitives. By using that, you have to write your display functions. Once these things has been designed, next one, you are going to declare all your global variables or local variables and the states. So here what you are going to do is, suppose if any of the variables whatever you have declared as a global variable or local variable, you have to mention the states. So now, state in the sense, there will be one more thing, that is state machine, as it is here in my slide. So what it will do is, you have to mention that it will be a global state or it will be a local state. So what will happen, there will be like, there will be some functions where it will be useful to enable it. Okay, so here one example I have written, the depth buffering. So the depth buffering, how, what is the depth buffering? Suppose if you are holding any of the object, any of the object will have the height, width and depth. Okay, but if you will visualize that object, you can find out there will be a depth which will have some kind of your shadowness. Fine, so whenever we will turn or render that object, that time the buffer starts. So to enable that buffering system, you have to use the global state, and you can disable it, suppose, and it happens very fast, where you cannot see the buffering part properly. If you want to see that, you can make in your program lower, speed as low, so that you can see how really the buffering happens. Otherwise, if you will give the speed more, then you cannot see the buffering. Normally what used to happen is, whatever the movies we are seeing, or anything whatever we are seeing, everything you can see, everything happens in a very fraction of second. So if you don't have the network also, it can go for the next event suddenly, so you can see that buffering. But if your network will not be proper, you can see the buffering. Okay, so that kind of things has been given, so it has been connected with your internet, so you can avoid this depth buffering. But what we have given in our program part, we have enabled it so that these things can be visualized properly, because we have given it as your global state. Now here you can see there are some basic GL commands. Okay, so whenever we will start anything commands, we have to start with the GL enable, or you can write GL disable. Okay, so GL will have many states of operations, wherever you want to enable or wherever you want to disable. That is your choice. So majorly we used to use this GL enable and GL disable whenever we will have some whenever we want to find out some buffering state, or whenever we want to find out the testing things and all. So here you can find out if you have here one example is there. If I have enabled your GL depth test, so what will happen is it will just find out your depth test, okay, how much depth is there. So it is going to enable for some time period. Then if you want to disable it, you can go for this GL disable option and you can write down this primitives. So by utilizing this GL enable and GL disable, it will give you the depth assurance at how much buffering system you are going to get it, okay. Then one more, suppose one more primitive is available, that is GL depth function. So by using that GL depth function, if you want to give it more depth towards your object, these things and all, you don't worry, I'll show you as one example or some video where you will find out how exactly it looks like, okay. Once the programming part will start, you will understand how it actually looks like. So don't worry about this part right now. Now we are going to start with the basic commands, that is known as your geometry commands, to use in our small programs. Now you people are going to write the small program by using these commands, okay. If whenever we will start writing the program, we have to use GL begin and GL end, okay. So now here I have given here as GL begin. So now what you have to do, you can, if you are going to create the vertex point, you can use GL vertex. If you want to write, if you want to give the color to the vertex point, you can use GL color. If you want to use normal, like normal points, vertex points, normal in the sense the points which one will be having, suppose this is a point. So whenever I will draw any kind of your two lines, there will be a 90-degree, okay. So I can call this point as a normal. So if you want to keep this normal primitive, then all the points whatever it is going to design, it will design in such a way that it will be a very straight towards your like plane. And it can have like the coordinate systems will be will have the 90-degree in between two angles, okay. So this is about your normals. There is a difference, many differences are there, we'll see everything slowly. Next one is your GL end. Once you have finished, once you have started with your GL begin, 100% you be sure that you are going to end the command, okay. So these all are some geometric commands which we are going to utilize in our program. So there is one more thing that is known as your elementary rendering. Inside this elementary rendering, you will have these three things: geometric primitives, managing OpenGL state, and OpenGL buffers. Okay. So you should have, if you want to move any of the object or if you want to render any of the object, you should have the geometric primitives first. Like what kind of object you want to draw. It can be your circle, it can be your rectangle, it can be square, anything. So first thing is you have to give the geometric primitives. Then you have to manage your OpenGL state, okay. It can be your active, it can be your global state, it can be your anything state, whatever you want to manage, that you are going to give. Then you have to start with your buffering things. There are some common lines are there which will be there for all most of the programs. So you don't worry about that, that things will be very easy to remember, because it can be a buffering part, it can be a state part. We will see how we are going to do it. So now these all are some geometric primitives. It will define you how you are going to draw the points or draw any of the objects. Suppose if you want to draw in your output screen only points, that time how you are going to use, you have to write GL begin inside the bracket GL underscore points. Okay. First you remember everything will be capital. It is not point, it is points. Okay. So many students will write point and they will tell that I'm getting errors. So you just remember this is GL underscore points if you want to draw the individual points. If you want to draw the lines, okay, only lines, then you have to use GL underscore lines. Okay. Now there is a difference in between GL lines and GL line strip. So what do you mean by GL line strip? You can see the lines will be get connected with each other, but there will be no connection in between the beginning point and the end point. So if you are not giving any connectivity in between your starting point and ending point, that is known as your gl underscore line underscore strips. Okay, so here in this way you can draw the output inside in your output screen. If you want to join both the things, you have to use gl underscore line loop. So if you are using this primitive, you can join the starting and end points. And this kind of object has been created by using the line, because I have given the coordinate points at this point. Okay, I'll just show you. I have given this point, 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 then this point, then this point. As I have used GL line loop, so it has joined, all the points has joined. As I have given, this is the first point, so this is my second point. So when I have written, so it has been joined from the first to second. Okay, then suppose if I have given this one as third point, then it has joined with that. If I will give this is a third point, then maybe the line could have come like this. So depends on what basis the writing of your point. So in that way it is going to join. Okay, so I hope you have understood this thing. You have to be very careful while writing the points, because whatever the first point you have written, then the second point, it will join accordingly. If you want to join from this point to somewhere, you have to give it in that way, otherwise it won't accept. Fine. Next thing is, here you can see that like a gl polygon. So what do you mean by gl polygon here? It will be a closed thing. You can say this is also a gl polygon. Here what is the difference in these two? Only the coordinate points. Okay, so if you are using gl line loop and giving this kind of coordinate points, it can draw the output in this way. Okay, but if you will give the gl polygon, then it will understand that okay, I have to join. So under your as per mathematics, under your polygon, all these things have come. So if you are declaring anything like gl polygon, any kind of your object you can draw. Okay, so this can be a gl line loop also, this can be a gl polygon. So only the difference is like to give the points, however you have given the points, it will accept and it will draw the output in that way. So these all are some geometric primitives. I have some more also. Here you can see, suppose if you want to draw the GL triangles. So if you will give GL triangles, it will understand that okay, it should have three vertex point. So accordingly, it will just join. Okay, so this is one variety of coordinate system. This is another variety of coordinate system which has been joined with them. Okay, so this is known as your GL triangles. Next one is your GL quads. So this is a quadratic system where we it will if you will write only this much, it will understand that it should accept the four vertex point. Okay, so by using that four vertex point, it will design the output in that way, whatever the four vertex point it has given. GL quadratic, it doesn't mean that it will be a square or it will be a rectangle. If you are writing GL underscore square, it will design the square like whatever. And after writing square, if your coordinate systems are not according to the square, it will not draw. But it understand that square in the sense it has to accept four vertex point. That is the difference. Now we have the variety in our GL triangles. We have the strips. So if you want to join everywhere and anywhere in this way, you can give GL underscore triangle underscore strip. Okay. And this image also comes under your polygon family. So if you are writing GL underscore polygon and if you are giving this kind of points, then also it will accept and draw this kind of object in your output. If you want to go for GL underscore triangle underscore fan, then how you are going to do? There will be a common point, okay, and from that common point you have to draw all this. Okay, let me take this common point name as 1. So here this is 2, this is 3, this is let it as 4, 5, and this one will be 6. Okay. So now suppose if you want to draw this, so whenever you will write GL underscore triangle underscore fan, you have to start with the coordinate point first one, whatever the coordinate points will be. Let it to be 2 comma 3 or 5 comma 3, whatever it is. Next you should, if you want to join from 1 to 2, then you have to write the coordinate of your 2. Okay, so here 1 in the sense, suppose the coordinate points are 2 comma 3. Fine. So if you have the second coordinate point to join, you give here. Next, what you are going to do, again you have to start with your 1. Or suppose if you are writing directly 3 here, okay, if you are writing 3 here, the coordinate points, then how the image will draw? The image will start from 1, it will draw here, it will come here 2, then it will come here as 3. Okay, now suppose here you have written the fourth one, then fourth one is here, right? So according to that, it will just draw like this, but it will not draw from 1 to 3. If you want to do that, then you have to repeat that 1 point again, and you have to repeat the 3 point again. Whenever you will repeat again, on above this only one, the same point will get create. That will be a 2 point on above it only. But the thing is that you can visualize as the point is same. If you will give little 2 comma 4, you can see that. So if you will write 1 again and 3 again, then the cursor will come here and it will understand that I should join from here to here. Okay, so in this way you have to understand where to give and what to give. Then suppose again from 3 to 4 already I have given. So first you have to give in a serial wise, then you have to join all these points. Okay, we will see individually all these things. Now the next thing is the quad is also having one of the one of the category, that is known as your GL quad stripes. So in GL quad stripe, how the triangle and all everything has been declared, in the similar way you can do your GL quads also. Okay, so in your GL quads what will happen is, you can see here that anything anywhere it can be joined, right? So GL quads also can be joined wherever you have you want to join, and also this can come under your like polygon family too. Fine. So moving towards the next one, here this is a simple example you are going to write in this type of example. So this example I have given, let's take the example as quad. So I want to draw the quad. So I know that first the thing is you have to draw everything in the rough. So quad in the sense, my anything I can draw any kind of thing, right? Sorry, this is a straight line. Okay, so this is my quad. So now I know that if I want to draw the quad, you can write your draw rhombus or anything you can write. Okay, this is just a function name. I have started with GL float because I want to give the floating values, and also I want to give some colors. Fine. So now I want to start. I told you, once whenever you want to start writing any of the programs, you have to start with your GL begin and you have to end with your GL end. So whenever I first, you should write GL begin and then you should write GL end. So inside GL begin, I want to give the quads. So here what I will do is, I will write here GL underscore quads. Okay. So if I'm writing here quads, it will understand that I should accept 4 vertex point. So I have given here GL vertex, GL vertex, GL vertex, GL vertex. So 4 vertex points I have given here. So the values accordingly, whatever it will have, like whatever the coordinate system this vertex point will have, so these 4 vertex points I will give over here. Fine. So these things you can see your graph paper. So you don't see these points, it may be the unit scale will be some 0.1 values I have taken. So you take 5 unit scale and draw accordingly and write it down. Okay, and if you want to give specify some of the colors, then you can give GL color 3FV color. Okay, don't worry for this line, I will explain you this line again, so just omit this line for the timing. Just you write down GL begin, GL quads, GL vertex of all the points, GL end. That's all. Okay, give any void, any function name, and then you write this GL float. So like this, you are going to write for points, you are going to write for squares, you are going to write for rectangles, you are going to write for triangles, Okay, so these four things you are going to write it. Okay, so this is all about of your today's class. Next class, I just want to see the program only like this small program for points, square and rectangle and triangle. Then I will just go through the next part of your programs. I hope you people have understood today's class. So start writing about these points, these things, whatever the task I have given. Then we will continue it in the next class. Thank you.